Hello and welcome back to the Hawkins Hellfire Collective. I'm Zach Grubb.
And I'm Devin Grubb.
And we have been on a little bit of a hiatus because we're trying to figure out what exactly we want to discuss moving forward.
Yeah, we've been at a loss.
Yeah, I feel like we've been keeping up with what's going on in the world of Stranger Things as we've been doing the podcast.
Yeah.
And talking about it as we've been doing it. So it puts us in a weird place where it's like, okay, what do we talk about next? And there's like lots of little interstitial pieces of media.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling it's going to mean shorter episodes from here on out, just because there isn't as much to say.
Yeah. And until they the play gets going, because right now the big thing is the within the world of Stranger Things is the play that's going to be happening in London.
Yeah.
And they're only in rehearsals right now, so like until that happens.
And I feel like even that isn't going to be hard canon, because if they decide they want to do something in season 5,
I don't know about that.
doesn't...
I mean, I don't know. That's all the Duffers and everything. Like, it's not like it's random people doing that.
That's true. But like, it's not like there were random people writing these books we were going to talk about today either. They are people who worked on the show.
I don't think so. Not this one. Not the one that I'm going to talk about. I don't know about yours. But I think the only one that has anything to that the author has anything to do with the show is the Eddie book that's coming out.
Yeah, you may be right.
Yeah, because like it would have said in the little bio of the author if they were, and I really don't think they are. I think they were just like, given permission to publish their fan fiction.
Here's a point in time that we don't talk about in the show. Feel free to write a story about
it, and maybe it will be okay.
And maybe you will get some maybe.
Maybe.
So, we're going to talk about 2 books today.
We're going to give you our 7th grade book report presentations.
Yeah. So, we read Rebel Robin and Runaway Max.
Yeah, I read Rebel Robin, and he read Runaway Max. And after we each read those books, we said, you do not have to read this. So
yeah, we said that to each other.
I did not read the Max book, and he did not read the Robin book.
We had conversations.
Now, I will just say, these are just our opinions. And if you've read these books and you enjoy them, more power to you. That is great. And that is what makes the world go round. Everybody has different opinions.
And you're wrong.
No.
Yes. Like...
So I'm not going to say they're wrong because I read YA novels all the time.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There are very good YA novels. Neither of these are very good YA novels. And at least, I don't know about yours. I can't speak for yours. I know when it comes to mine, I don't think it's the author's fault.
I don't think it's the author's fault. Sorry. With mine either. I just think... I don't know. I get maybe what I'm about to say might contradict my first thought. I just feel like they didn't. It's not the Robin that I know, and I think that's the point because of what the book is about. But I don't know.
I think part of the problem with mine, at least, is that it paints Billy in a very understandable light, and this is not a character who deserved that. And even when they do it in season 4, it comes across as, no, this guy is a monster, but he wasn't always.
Yeah.
Whereas what we learn in the show through seasons 3 and 4 about his life with Max is that he was a monster to her the entire time. Mm-hmm. And this book kind of contradicts that in some parts. And creates this weird dynamic between the two of them. Of like, oh, we hate each other, but at least we're stuck here together. And it's like, no, that wasn't there in the show. That wasn't there in the writing. Like,
yeah,
I think it just comes from a misinterpretation of who this character was. But let's jump in with Rebel Robin because
you're gonna start with mine.
Yes.
Okay.
You had gripes.
So I had gripes because, like I said, I read YA novels all the time. This was not a good one. So essentially, I'm just going to give you the little, like, synopsis. I'm not going to read you
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, there will be spoilers. So if you have not read these books, I would suggest if you have not read these books and you're interested in reading these books, I would skip this episode. Or, stop listening now because there will be spoilers to things that happen. So basically, Rebel Robin takes place, I believe it is her sophomore year of high school. She has not come out yet. She's not even sure, that she's gay yet. But, and that's not even like I'm having a hard time composing my thoughts here. So it starts out her sophomore year. She's got her band friends that like they're friends, but they're not friends. They're kind of just like who they were stuck with when they decided to do band. They're like, it's like, okay, we sat together, so we're friends now. There's a lot of whining in her head about Tammy Thompson, the Muppet sounding singer girl. It's almost obsessive a little bit how much she talks about Tammy Thompson in her head in this book. And I think that's part of why I was annoyed by it, because that's not how Robin is painted in the show.
I mean, is that intentional? Was she into Tammy Thompson?
She was into Tammy Thompson.
Yeah.
She says so to Steve.
Yeah.
But it's like every other page is like talking about Tammy Thompson, and like it's not just a crush to like, it doesn't come off as a crush. It borders on obsession.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't think Robin was that way. But anyway, she's trying to save up money for her, what she calls Operation Croissant. And she's going to leave and she's going to go to and explore Europe, and, because they'll understand her there. And I'm going to ask Tammy Thompson to go with me. What? Okay. She does scrap that idea. And then she tries to, she wants to go with one of her friends, but her friend is a guy who has a crush on her, who wants to go out with a girl. So they can't be friends anymore because it looks weird. It makes it seem like they're a couple, but they're not a couple. And I don't know if it's,
Never bother Steve.
Right. Like it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just, I am in my 30s and am now cynical, and I don't care about the problems of stupid sophomores in high school.
You were definitely not the audience for this book.
I was not the audience for this book.
I feel like a Stranger Things fan is not the audience for this book.
Because this book, that's exactly, and right there, you hit the nail on the head with my gripe. This is not a Stranger Things book. This is a book about a girl in her sophomore year of high school that is trying to figure things out about herself, that just so happens to be, Robin from Stranger Things. But it could be anybody. Like, it does, like, the fact that this is a straight, quote unquote, Stranger Things book, it's not. Like, it could be anybody, because the things that okay, Will goes missing during this book in November of her sophomore year. And it's just like casually talked about in the background.
Oh, the Byers kid.
Right. Part of a chapter, and then it's not really talked about again. Like, to me, this is not a Stranger Things book at all. And Steve gets mentioned because Tammy Thompson likes Steve. So Robin,
who doesn't?
Right. Robin's jealous of Steve. And the very end of the book, like the epilogue, is Steve getting the job at Scoops Ahoy. So, like, that is, prequel to what we see of the two of them in season 3. But, like...
See, that actually, I don't like the way that contextualizes their relationship at all, because then it just makes it seem like Robin was being a jerk to Steve because he is Steve. As opposed to that being, like, kind of who she is.
Yeah. It absolutely makes it seem that way. And, like you said, it was definitely not a book that was written for me. But I also don't think it was a book that was written for a Stranger Things audience, because it's not a Stranger Things book. You can change the names of any of the characters and it wouldn't matter.
And see, that's interesting, because I can't say that about mine.
Yeah, it really wouldn't matter. Like it says, it's like sprinkled with references to your favorite Stranger Things characters. This prequel chronicles one girl's realization that the only person she really needs to be accepted by is herself. Yeah, that's fine. But the references are almost non-existent. And they don't need to be there to make the book a book. They just slapped Robin on the cover and made the names, Robin Buckley and Steve Harrington, and called it a day. That's where I'm at. I didn't like it. 1 out of 10. And it took me a really long time to read it too, and it's not a large book.
You were on a book kick at the time.
You were
reading like 2 books a month.
I hate that I have like fallen off the wagon,
We've been really busy.
Especially because the book I'm reading now is where I'm going to go on a quick little tangent. The book I'm reading now is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and if you know me, you know that the Hunger Games series is my favorite book series. Yeah, YA. And the movie is coming out next month, and I am only halfway through the book, and I need to finish it.
And like, you're enjoying it.
It's a really good book. I just haven't had the time or the like mental capacity to sit down and continue to read. This book destroyed me.
We have a 3-nager. Life is busy. We'll get there.
But no, but this is a teeny tiny book compared to some of the books that I have read.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it took me like a month and a half to read it.
It took you a month and a half to read it.
But I'm done. It was not good. 1 out of 10. But if you want to read it, go for it. I'm not going to stop you.
How many Demogorgons out of 5?
0, because there were no Demogorgons in said book.
Well, there's not going to be any Demogorgons in the Eddie book either.
The Eddie book does not come into play.
I will say this, because I kind of think the Eddie book is going to suffer from a similar issue, but the difference, I think, is that people want to know Eddie's backstory. Mm-hmm. It's like an in-demand story.
The Eddie book is definitely going to be different compared to these. And then, like I said, it's also like one of the people who helped like write Eddie helped write the book or wrote the book. It's one of the writers has something to do with this book. Can't tell me he's actually dead. So that's going to be, the difference there as well, because it's somebody who is very close to the character.
Yeah.
Doing the book.
Definitely.
So what about your lovely story, or do you have anything else to add to
No, I think you handled it. I think you handled it pretty well there. Runaway Max is not a bad book. I'm gonna say that outright. I actually found myself enjoying it at points.
Yeah, you did. I remember you saying it's not bad.
I think by the time I got to the end, I realized that it was mostly fan fiction. And I think that comes down to a gross misunderstanding of Billy as a character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That said, there are some parts of this where he is truly horrendous, and it's good.
Saying that too.
It's really good. I also think that the author, Brenna Yavanov, Yavanov probably, She actually did a very good job of getting into Max's head and making the narration of the book seem like it was actually coming from Max. So the thing that this book does is it kind of goes back and forth between what's happening in season 3 and her past. Okay. You get background into like why they came to Hawkins, Max trying to run away, how Billy is essentially blamed for it all, how their parents met and like her relationship with Billy started off, and it weirdly came across as like, oh, this guy is like this guy could be a mentor figure for me. Look how cool he is. And Eddie just gets, or sorry, not Eddie. Billy just gets more and more unhinged.
Don't even.
Stop. Billy just gets more and more unhinged. And it's not like, oh, we're learning that he's actually this way. They also make a real attempt to try to portray him as a broken character. Mm-hmm. But you can't do that with just a few little scenes of him and Max connecting, mm-hmm. and then follow that up with him like breaking Max's friend's arm. Like, you have to commit one way or the other. Is he like an irredeemable evil thing, or is he a sympathetic character that you should be feeling for? Because when you swing so hard in both directions, mm-hmm. it comes across as really muddled. Like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me with this book. To the point where I think I focused more on what it had to say about Billy than what it had to say about Max. Because when you are dealing with Max, it's basically just a retread of who she is in season 3 mm-hmm. with a little bit more context, which is not a problem. It's not bad. It works, and it works well, and it actually makes this book feel like it belongs in the overall canon of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I would say read this if you really want to try out a Stranger Things book. I think it gets some things right. I think it completely misses the mark on Billy as a character, while, interestingly, doing a really good job of speaking in Max's voice through the book. Mm-hmm. I still would say just avoid the Stranger Things books so far.
Yeah.
Your experience with Rebel Robin and my experience with this book actually made us kind of say, you know what, we're not going to bother with Runaway Lucas.
It's,
or not, sorry, with Lucas on the line.
Lucas on the line, yeah. And I mean, I feel bad because I like Lucas, and I feel like that takes place between season 3 and season 4. Yeah. Because that was the most recent one to come out. I mean, I don't know, maybe... Yeah, because who the heck knows when we're gonna get this show? We might need some more things. I
have a bonus book to talk about.
I mean, I feel like I would give it a shot, just for
content.
Well, I mean, sure, for content, but just to see. Because they're all written by different authors, so, it would be interesting. I feel like it would be interesting to see somebody else's take on Lucas. I don't know. I mean, I want to read the Eddie book, but, everybody who listens to this knows why I want to read the Eddie book, so that's...
But Eddie, like we said earlier, Eddie is a wildly popular character. People want to know his backstory, so... Yeah. Getting a writer on board who had something to do with creating the character and telling a story, that makes sense. There were a couple other things in this I did want to bring up. It goes into a background of Max and her dad, which is never touched on in the show.
No.
And is actually super interesting because it kind of makes him out to be like a pseudo con man mm-hmm. who does care about Max, at least in her estimation. And shows that he does because he thinks they're very similar. But, like, the problem is it builds this character and it builds this kind of background for Max that is never seen in the show.
Yeah.
And what it does is it feels, again, like, that's why I used the word earlier, it feels like fan fiction. Because if these things are never addressed in any real way, why are we talking about it?
Yeah.
Like,
There's
what is the purpose of this context? Why do I need to know that Max's actual dad was like a fixture in her life who she was trying to run away to when they were trying to get her to go to Hawkins? Like,
right.
why does that matter if we're never going to deal with it?
Right.
Like, I get
what you're saying.
And I mean, the answer could very well just be like, yeah, people want to know more about the characters. And it's like, that's fine. That is fine. But it adds nothing to the overall series. So, I don't know. I can't. I would give this 2.5 Demogorgons out of 5.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. How many Demogorgons do you give said book?
Like, there is nothing wrong with this book except for its portrayal of Billy. And even then, only sometimes.
Yeah.
When it tries to make him sympathetic. Because it's not very good at it.
Like, so my book, like, there's nothing wrong with the book. It's just not Stranger Things.
But from what you told me while you were reading it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. As somebody who reads YA novels, it was not the YA novel for me. That doesn't mean it wouldn't be the YA novel for somebody else. It depends on what your taste is.
Yeah, but I think right now we're coming at it from the lens of, like, if you're listening to this podcast.
Right. Yeah. If you're listening to this podcast, this is not the book for you. But if you are a YA reader and you happen upon this and you're not super familiar with Stranger Things, you might like it. Because it's not, it's not Stranger Things. It's not, that's my gripe.
Yeah. And this very much is. Because you straight up have her experience in season 3 with the Demodogs. All of that's in here.
Yeah.
And told from Max's perspective. And again, I think she nails her voice. I really do.
Right.
So, 2.5 Demogorgons. If you're gonna read a Stranger Things book that's out right now, I think this is the one to read. Mm-hmm. It's $11. You're not, and I think most places have it on sale. Like,
yeah, we got ours at Sam's, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I think it was like $8 each. Like,
get your books at Sam's Club, people.
Do it for real. If you can find your books at Sam's, do it.
Books at Sam's, get them there.
But yeah, if you're gonna read a Stranger Things book, you could do worse than Runaway Max. It's worth picking up if you just need, like, something easy to slam back while you're on the beach or, like, on a Christmas vacation and you just want to read something. Mm-hmm. It's worth it. It is. But, like, don't expect anything crazy and go into it thinking this is probably non-canon. This is like the comics. They could overturn any of this at any point.
Yeah.
And I guess we could just stop talking here, but
you want to gripe about your other one?
I have a book that I put down.
Aren't you currently reading one?
Oh, okay. So I haven't really started that. I read the first few.
Hopper, right?
I'm interested in that. I'm not going to talk about that because I actually am interested in it.
Sorry. Well, that's a conversation for another day. Sorry.
Yeah, because I have a feeling that one might actually be good, and I don't want to get into it because I haven't read enough. But no, I put down this book, and I don't think I've ever given up on a book in my life. I don't think I've ever put down a book and went, I'm just not going to read this anymore. And I think I've talked about it on the podcast before.
You might have. I was excited about it, and then you said it was really bad.
It was really bad. It is a choose-your-own-adventure book. And look, by its nature, a choose-your-own-adventure book is not going to be a good book. That's not what they're about. It can't be, because there's no real narrative structure.
Yeah.
So, when you...
All right, English major.
So when you pick one of those up, you're picking it up for fun. So that's what I was doing. That's like the lens I was approaching this from. This is just stupid fun, and I'm going to try to enjoy the ride, going through all these different possible plots to season 4 if I were a self-insert character in the Stranger Things universe. And it's bad. It's not fun. It is...
laborious.
It is laborious. Good word for it.
Thank you.
The different possible plot lines are really poorly thought out. They sometimes just straight up do things that don't make sense for the characters. They'll skip large swaths of the overall story just to put you at one scene, which again, this is a choose your own adventure book. I get it. That's what they're doing. They're trying to like play out all these different scenarios with you. But like, and it also weirdly sometimes hits on scenarios that would have been better. Like there's one where everybody ends up at the Nina Project before they actually show up at the Nina Project in the show, and like Will and Mike and Eleven all get captured by the government, and Vecna destroys Hawkins, and the government's like, well, okay, you were here, so you couldn't possibly have done it. Let's plan a counterattack. And I'm like, that's actually an interesting way that this show could have gone. Mm-hmm. And now that's in my head. And it's never going to go anywhere because this is a choose your own adventure book.
Right, and that
doesn't
real.
Finish the story. Yeah. To be fair, I think there is one adventure you could choose where Eddie lives.
Yeah,
So,
you told me about that, and I was like, ooh, cool. And then you were like, oh, no.
It's not good.
This isn't good.
It's not good. It's not good. Look, if you... Like, this is what boggles my mind about it, because if you're young enough to enjoy this, if you're young enough to enjoy a poorly written choose your own adventure book, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're young enough to do that, why are you reading a Stranger Things book?
That's what you would say. You're like, this is, like, it's a young audience.
It's a very young audience. But it's still Stranger Things and still following all of the story beats of Stranger Things. And that's that particular season. So who is this book for?
Right.
I have no idea who this is for. And I had to put it down, and I couldn't keep doing it to myself. I couldn't force myself to keep reading all of these weird-ass scenarios that the book came up with. Mm-hmm. Because they're not good. Like, it's the self-insert character. It's a self-insert, so obviously he's supposed to be fairly bland.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I can't articulate how bored and disappointed I was while reading each new thread in this book. Yeah. Don't buy it. If you have a kid who loves Stranger Things and is not intellectually developed enough to look at a choose your own adventure book and go, yeah, I don't want to read that, then yeah, you can get them the Stranger Things choose your own adventure book. But like, I don't know who else that book is for.
It's for like 10-year-olds.
Yeah, but like, what? Then why is a 10-year-old watching season 4 of Stranger Things? Think all the stuff that goes down in season 4 of Stranger Things.
We wouldn't let our like a 10-year-old watch it, but like that's us, you know.
I'm just thinking of all those like gnarly Vecna kills, and thinking like, who first off, who's letting their kid watch that, and second, what kid is looking at that and going, I want to read a choose your own adventure book based on this.
I feel like choose your own adventure things are like our generation.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
But no, like we're the ones who like enjoy that, like with the games and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
But the book was not written for people of our
age. No,
our age.
Like, I'm wondering if maybe the concept was to like capture that D&D audience.
Yeah, probably.
But
they didn't capture you.
Like, the D&D audience is an audience that's like, the writing needs to be good.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. And that's not possible with a book like this. I'm gonna get off my high horse now. And stop sounding like somebody who just hates everything, because I feel like that's what's happening right now.
That's what this episode sounds like.
No Demogorgons. No Demogorgons. Zero of the Demogorgons for the Choose Your Own Adventure book. But again, Runaway Max is pretty good. It's okay.
Here you go.
You can read Runaway Max. Runaway Max will not leave a bad taste in your mouth.
No.
I don't think we're gonna read Lucas on the Line unless we really dedicate ourselves to it.
I got other books I gotta read. I gotta finish the Hunger Games book.
Yeah, and honestly, I've just been too wildly busy with other projects. But like, yeah, we are currently reading the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Stranger Things crossover comic.
Well, you're up. I haven't read
Yeah.
anything since the first issue.
It's very stupid, but like I mean that with the biggest smile on my face. It is stupid fun, and it weirdly understands the characters better than I would argue these books do. Who doesn't want to see Baxter Stockman try to like trick Eleven into opening up a portal to the Upside Down? and have Raphael connect with her emotionally over being monsters. That's fantastic. That's beautiful. Give me more of that. I want all of the Stranger Things Ninja Turtles crossover books. Just give me all Stranger Things crossover comics with every major cartoon of the 80s and 90s, and I will be so happy. Force feed me that garbage. I want it.
Okay. So, that's that.
Yeah. So I think in the future there's a few other things that we have, like the Will Byers Trapper Keeper.
Yeah, I haven't even really looked at that.
That's worth talking about a little because it's very cool. Mm-hmm. It's nothing you're gonna learn anything new from, but it's very cool to see like this breakdown of different pieces of the show from Will's perspective.
Yeah.
Just a little look into Will's brain, which is cool. Like even then, it's written as if it's Will writing in a Trapper Keeper. It's not written as like a narrative story, so it works better.
Yeah,
it works better.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to talk about the Eddie book once that's out because I'm pretty sure Devin's going to read it in like 3 days.
That comes out on Halloween. I have to pre-order it, or I might not get it.
Yeah, you're going to have to pre-order
so
it.
I have to do that. I was supposed to do it back in like July.
And like we'll keep up with news about Stranger Things.
Yeah, and then I mean maybe we'll throw in like some episodes about like characters and stuff. We're just like talk about characters and what we like and what we hope for them for the next season. Things
we'll talk about how they developed from the beginning of the show to where we are now.
You know, but I mean,
just an in-depth analysis on Steve.
I mean, the best thing I would say is to kind of follow our Instagram account. Because that's where you'll get, like basically like the updates. So, I post about when we have a new episode coming out, since we're not really as weekly.
Yeah,
I
doubt we're going to be weekly for a while, but I think we'll still make an attempt to keep this bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly, you know, I would like to have at least 2 episodes out a month, but I mean sometimes. Like, I don't know that we're going to have this because October is really busy for us. But, like, next month, November, we might be able to put out a couple.
Yeah. And look, if you guys want to hear us talk about other shows.
Yeah, other shows. Or if, honestly, like, if you have a Stranger Things topic that you want us to talk about, you would like to hear us go on a tangent about it for 45 minutes, message us on Instagram and we'll talk about it and we'll probably make it an episode. So
I've been toying with this for a long time as well, and I'm probably going to pull the trigger on it soon, but we do want to bring the podcast to YouTube.
Okay.
Because that is something that YouTube is offering now. It basically just be all the episodes you've already heard, but with us, on YouTube. And if we do that, like, subscribe and do stuff to make people know that we're out there. Because that'd be fun.
Subscribe, share, all the stuff you do with YouTube.
Yeah, all that stuff I beg people to do weekly on my channel. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. Mm-hmm. Just final word. Don't buy Rebel Robin. Don't buy the Choose Your Own Adventure book.
Buy Runaway Max if you want to.
If you're interested, buy Runaway Max. You're not gonna come out of it hating the book. If you're a Stranger Things fan, you're gonna come out of it either being like, "Hey, that was pretty good," or like, I don't know how I felt about that, but it was worth the read.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough about Lucas on the Line to make a recommendation.
No, and that's kind of why I'm like on the fence about it, because I don't want to say it's not good.
But like we can kind of assume.
Yeah.
But maybe
But
we
maybe
shouldn't.
not. Maybe we shouldn't. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I could hate the Eddie book.
I hope not.
I hope not too.
Buy all the Stranger Things comics, even the ones that are non-canon. They're
Yeah,
all good.
I would highly
highly
recommend those. Those are really good, and I wish we had more.
Yeah. I know we were just saying final word, but I know that there is a whole new series of those that are supposed to be one-shot stories from like Hawkins and based on different characters that's basically on hiatus for no reason.
Oh.
I don't really know what's happening with it. The first issue was about the hunters who went missing in season 1.
Right,
the next one,
saying that.
Yeah, the next one was supposed to be about Murray, but it's like on hold indefinitely, and I don't know why. If that ever comes out again, pick it up.
We will.
I'd read a book about Murray, but they'd have to.
Yes.
That could not be a YA because that is not going to be safe for work.
Well,
a book about Murray.
The one that you have right now that I casually mentioned, that's not YA either, right? The one with Hopper. That you have that on that's your cart, like you stopped reading. But...
I do, and I'm pretty sure that has been decanonized. That book.
Okay, so it's not like okay.
I don't know. I think maybe it could be considered YA. I don't know.
We didn't find it in the YA section.
We did not, but I'll know more when I get through it.
Yeah. Well, now you have an assignment.
Yep, assignment Hopper.
Read your book, so you can do another.
With all of this time I have.
All right, read that book so you can do another 7th grade book report.
If you guys ever want to hear me do like legit book reports, like college level book reports, check out my YouTube channel.
Check out his YouTube channel.
For the first time in our
shameless self-promotion section of Hawkins Hellfire Collective.
For what I'm pretty sure is the first time in our 52 episode run, I'm going to tell you the actual name of my channel. We're called Square Table Gaming, and we mostly do Elden Ring stuff. Check us out.
I have nothing to do with that.
That's not true. You run the Instagram.
I do run the Instagram, but I don't come up with anything, so there's that.
That actually reminded me, though, there is something else we can talk about. Mm-hmm. The Stranger Things games. So we will get into that together, because there's 2 mobile games, and I don't think it's out, but they are working on a VR game. So
okay.
You and I'll
talk
about those
do some
later.
Research. I'm sorry, I'm yawning.
So I think that's it for us. Signing off from the Hawkins Hellfire Collective. I'm Zach Grubb.
I'm Devin Grubb. Dusty Buns gets it done, just not in book form.